When AI agents get credit cards. So this whole conference, this whole summit was about what can we do to optimize for AI search. Right now it's still humans, right? We're switching from Google to ChatGPT, but what happens in very short time where instead of us, it's going to be our agents browsing with our credit cards. So AI is already affecting the way we purchase. I'm not sure if this is just me, I assume not, but let's say you're a family of 4, you're planning a trip to Thailand, and you might use ChatGPT today to query the destination itself, the hotels, the flights, everything around that, the preferences of your girlfriend. She likes luxury hotels. She does. Shout out. Maybe your kids want something to do all day. Maybe you want some good Wi-Fi so you can work from your vacation. Everyone has their quirks. And you might use ChatGPT to find the flight. You might use it to find the hotel, book on Booking. You might find the airline. You might find your shuttle from the airport to your hotel. So this is all AI assistant. So AI is basically helping us recommend, whether it's a recommendation engine or it's an LLM. But right now we're at a turning point in where we're moving from AI just influencing us as humans to the point where AI is going to be making transactions on our behalf. And what does that mean? So everything, the previous example with the flight to Thailand with your family, imagine you're going to have an AI assistant that does all of those actions for you. Let's talk about how that would look and what are the implications here. So the AI first buyer is coming, and this is going to be coming for every single industry. I'm talking now about travel because I love travel, but that's just one example. We're going to have a specialized agent in every aspect of our lives as people have today in the human equivalent. For example, when the pension decisions come, should you switch your plan, keren ishtalmut, we don't want to do all of that. We'll have our assistant look at the numbers, analyze which one, and move us if required. Also those pesky forms you have to fill out. So what will this AI assistant do? And then you'll see how this relates to everything said today with AI search. So it's going to scan and understand our preferences. Instead of us going to maybe 3 or 4 different websites to compare flights, it's going to scan 1,000 flights, hotels. It's going to look at our preferences. It could be, we like the boutique hotels, I really like jacuzzis. All of that's going to be put into our preferences. It's going to find the right matches for us. So it's going to compare thousands or maybe even millions of options in real time, look at the prices, the rankings, all of the small things that we can never actually do ourselves. And then it's going to confirm all of that. No more discovering that you have only 6 months on your passport when you're at Ben Gurion. The AI will tell us beforehand. It might even apply for the visas that we need. And then finally, it's going to take our credit card with our real money and make a purchase. Then it's going to send us a nice email, place this in our calendar, email the whole family the itinerary, and we're all going to be happy. So the big question here is when this happens, and it could happen very soon, that we'll have these applications that make the purchases for us, how will this AI agent decide which website, which merchants, which vendor to work with? So as a lot of the speakers before me have very well said, AI is going to look at things in a very different perspective. One of that is data. It's going to be much, much more ruthless in the way it examines data. It's going to place aside things that are more emotion or branding, right? Because those are things which primarily affect humans. The AI agent doesn't care if you have an emotional connection. So it's going to look much more at your reliability of your brand and the data supporting it, whether it's safety or anything else that's relevant. It's going to look at our preferences. So this is the good part. We will still define what we care about. So if a consumer really cares about environmental aspects, he can put that into the preferences, and the AI will search for options that fit that. And it's going to look at trust signals. I think this was talked a lot today. What is the source of truth? How trustworthy is this specific vendor? And can I, as an AI, trust it? So all of this new era of buyers are going to bring trillions of dollars into the world economy. And if we want our businesses to capture some of that revenue, we're going to need to prepare for this new class of buyers. So what does that mean? The first thing is to be found, to be discoverable. First, AI needs to know our business exists, right? If it doesn't know who you are, if it's not indexing you, if your data isn't readable, then it's a no-go. Table stakes. You're not even relevant anymore. The second thing, let's assume we are found, we are visible, is to be trusted. Do we provide value? Are we reliable? Do we have transparent pricing? These are all things it's going to look and examine in many different methods. And that will be a much stronger signal for agents rather than the quality of our ad campaigns. And then the third thing is, will our business be accessible? I think we're going to be hearing for the first time the phrase, are you agent friendly? So if an agent goes to your business right now with a real credit card and it wants to buy something, will it succeed? And that's a big question, and I would assume the answer for many of your businesses is no. There's probably something in the transaction, in the buying funnel, that's going to block this agent. It could be security reasons, it could be something just nobody put thought into. And there's a lot of new questions that are going to come up, and many of them still don't have answers. So, one, we mentioned, does AI know we exist? So this is actually our first tool that you might have heard about today. Am I on AI? I'll talk a bit more about that later, towards the surprise portion. Does AI trust my business? This is an open-ended question because there's no answer today. There's no reliable way to understand if an AI trusts you. But those are things that solutions will be found for these types of questions. Let's say I'm an agent and I want to book a flight on El Al. This is the UI, the human interface that was built. We're all accustomed to it. This is how we work. Does the agent need this interface? Why not? So this is all an abstraction for humans, right? Because humans need to comprehend a specific amount of information. We can't get overwhelmed. We need the click-through rate. We need the conversion rate. All of these things are for humans. An agent doesn't mind scrolling to the bottom of the page, right? It's not going to abandon the page. That's his job. He needs to evaluate El Al. So he's not going to bounce unless he's blocked. So as someone mentioned, what happens if this is all the bot needs? Maybe it doesn't need the UI interface with the filters and the forms and the whole buying funnel. Maybe it needs a list of endpoints, like an API. It'll be able to understand how it can query flights, how can it compare, and eventually, how can it make a purchase? And if that satisfies all of its needs, maybe it'll find out that you're the best way to make this purchase. Another issue, if inevitably these agents will have issues in the same way that every system can have issues, how will it be able to resolve this issue? Will it give up? Will it try 3 times, like I usually do? Will it open the customer support line? Maybe it doesn't mind waiting a bit on the customer support line. Maybe it can make calls. Maybe it can connect to the WhatsApp. But will it be able to resolve? And these are things which nobody knows yet because it still is not happening. And although these questions don't all have answers, we're dedicated to discover them. And that, my friends, is Mindshare. Thank you.